Good afternoon, my name is Dale Payne. I'm a certified financial planner and I specialize in retirement income planning. This is part two of a series, a very short series that we're doing on what is involved in a complete retirement income plan. And it is kind of a forerunner of a seminar that we're doing, and I'm just going to read this to you. The location is the Cheyenne Mountain Library over on 8th Street. It's from 6 to 7 p.m. We will have refreshments. We'd like to get you there about 5:45 to sign in. And just here's the topics that we're going to be covering. Budgeting before and after retirement. And specifically, what do you really want your retirement to look like? How to optimize your Social Security benefits, and our optimization can also contains a Medicare estimates of costs. How to learn the newest strategies that can protect you against unexpected medical costs, and the proper positioning of assets. Also to learn how to create an income stream that you can't outlive, learn the importance of tax strategy and planning, and most importantly, how you put all this together into a comprehensive plan that is complete. Now, last week we touched base on the 4 basic disciplines involved in financial planning and what each one of these do. And I left you with a question. Knowing what you know now about these disciplines, are your financial advisors coordinated? In other words, you've got maybe someone advising you on investing, but are they taking into account advice from your tax planner? The other thing we talked about was, what's your budget like now? What is it going to look? What do you want it to look like in the future? And really, what do you want your retirement to look like in the future? We talked a little bit briefly about medical costs. So today we're going to just touch on a couple other things and give you an invite to the seminar coming up. So the first thing I want to mention is what we call the color of money. You might call that the proper positioning of assets. And in my world and in my planning, we just use red money and green money. And red money is money that you've got at risk in the market, and green money is safe money, money that you can count on. We have ratios that we use on how those should be positioned. The other thing I wanted to mention today, just briefly, is the sequencing of distributions from your retirement plans. It's just very important to have the proper numbers, the proper diversification, and a good plan on how that's going to happen. You can have a bad year and it can create a domino effect, just destroying your retirement. And the last thing I want to touch on, and it's really important, that's the uncovered medical costs. Now, you're going to be retiring, and maybe right now your retirement, your insurance coverage is through your company, or maybe you've got COBRA, maybe you've got TRICARE through the military. Some companies are extending or providing medical coverage in retirement, but none of those will cover the costs of custodial care, home care, assisted living, long-term care. So we really need to put a lot of thought into that. And I'll ask you a question. Do you think medical costs are going down? I think the answer is no. And one thing I hear from a lot of people is, the government's going to cover it. The government will not be covering these costs. They can barely cover health care, and we're living a lot longer. So at this seminar, I'm going to show you some ways, some new ways to cover these costs so that your retirement isn't hit. And then the last thing involved in all this is possibly some Medicaid planning, where you don't leave your spouse impoverished in case of an emergency. So if any of these things ring a bell to you, or you've not even considered a retirement plan yet, or what goes in it, or if you've not considered the integration of your other professionals, well, maybe you should come to this workshop. Again, it is on September 26th. It's at the Cheyenne Mountain Library on 8th Street. Very informal. We'll have refreshments. We'd like you to get there at 5:45, and we want to get you out of there in an hour. But You'll learn some interesting information. We're not there to sell you any products, nor are we going to offer you any products. We just use things like this to get ourselves out in the community, get people to know us. So my number is 719-633-0747. You can call us direct and ask questions and make a reservation. You can also get more information on my website, and that's dp-financial.com. Again, that's dp-financial.com. Now, you may get an invitation in the mail with an RSVP number, and that number is 877-647-3115. Again, that number is 877-647-3115. Thank you for your time.